Here's Mike Trout batting. Trout has hit the ball on the left side of the infield twice, once on the ground and one a pop-up, 0 for 2.
Oh, man, that's got some sound. Lewis back to the wall. Did he get it? No. Big fly for Mike Trout. The Angels with back-to-back jacks, and now they're down 1. 3-2 on the way to Trout. That is hammered out to left field. No doubter. Big fly for Mike Trout, his second of the ball game. The Angels are down 1.
And another home run versus a slider, and another home run versus Seattle. Papa Trout, some dad power. 3 home runs for Trout since coming up to Seattle.
Last night's game was a hard-fought one, but unfortunately, the Angels couldn't prevail, dropping the nightcap to the Mariners 7-6. Marco Gonzalez picked up his second win of the year, both against the Angels, which improves his record to 2-1. Julio Teheran took the loss in his season debut, going out only 2 2/3 innings over 52 pitches, yielding 2 runs. Welcome to another episode of the Halo Recap. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start with the takeaways. For one, Marco Gonzalez, plain and simple, dominated the Angels. He's dominated the Angels this entire year and even over his entire career. Hitters just can't really seem to figure out how to hit his fastball, cutter, changeup, slider, curveball combination, and it's kept him off balance. You know, he's like I said yesterday, he's not an overpowering pitcher. He maxed out on 88 miles per hour yesterday, but it just, with his location and his pitch speed difference and, you know, changing up speeds, you know, all that, he's just dominated the Angels this year. However, you know, Angels, he did make a couple of mistakes, and Angels, you know, launched him out of there. Our high-powered offense that we thought would happen this year is starting to come together over these next 2 games. 4 home runs last night. You know, it was still not enough to win, but you got to be happy as a fan looking at our offense coming together. You know, we just need this pitching to come together. Mike Trout specifically is continuing his dominance against Seattle, especially against Marco Gonzalez. He launched out his 3rd career home run against Marco Gonzalez in his career last night. However, with all these home runs, Angels still couldn't win because this bullpen couldn't contain the Seattle offense, giving up 5 runs to Seattle all game. Also, Joe Adell, in his 2nd career game, he made 2 crucial rookie mistakes, and it costed the Angels big time, but it's his 2nd career game. We can't get too mad at him. You know, it's the first time he's seeing all these pitchers. He's got to make adjustments on the fly. It's really hard when you're just starting in your MLB career, but it was a little disappointing in Adele's performance last night. But let's just go into the game right now. So, like I said, Marco Gonzalez threw a gem against the Angels. 7 innings, only giving up 3 hits. All 3 of those hits solo bombs. And this year, and he also struck out 7 guys, which is very surprising with, you know, how fast he throws. But this year against the Angels, it's been nothing but dominant. 13 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs, which is a 3.38 ERA, very respectable. Anyone would want that on their team. And he struck out 13 Angels. And he just keeps hitters off balance. He's an old soul, if you call it. You know, he's not gunning it out there, you know, reaching triple digits on his pitches. But if he locates his pitches, if he changes speeds often and keeps hitters off balance, it's going to work. And it simply has against the Angels this year. We haven't figured him out, and we didn't figure him out last night. And it's been like this for basically all of his career. He's had a very respectable ERA against the Angels in his career, and he's picked up 2 wins for the Mariners this year, who, like I said yesterday, this ALS is a tough and tight division right now. So get wins when you can, and you got to cherish the ones that you do, because we might see the division winner not even have like maybe a 65% winning percentage at the end of the year. It's going to be a very interesting ALS race this year. So with the Mariners with Marco Gonzalez looking like their ace right now, he could take them a long way. And a couple good games, a couple good weeks for the offense for the Mariners, and a couple good outings for Marco Gonzalez could go a long way. And the Angels, they're pitching and defense has to figure it out right now, but this long ball really helped them out last night. Like I said, 4 home runs. The first one coming off Max Stassi in the 3rd inning, an absolute missile out into left center field. His 3rd home run of the year. He's been very good and effective for the Angels this year. The platoon swap between him and Castro, whether it's against a lefty or a righty pitcher, has really helped, and Stassi and Castro have held their own. I mean, like I said yesterday, they're defensive catchers, so seeing them with power strokes and getting hits and doubles in the gap, that's not what we expected out of them. We'll take it because the Angels will take offense anywhere we have it. We need all of it for the way the bullpen's pitching this year, but Stassi's pitched really well this year and is very effective so far. Fletcher also in the 6th inning launched out a home run. He's shown he's still got some power, sending on his 2nd ball of the season. He hit 6 home runs last year in a full season, and right now he's already at 2. But this ball, he figured out Marco Gonzalez here. It was a fastball inside, but Fletcher got his hands in and launched it out to left field, about the same spot he hit his home run the other night. But this isn't really what Angel fans expected, but once again, we'll take it. We need offense anywhere we can. We'll take any home run anyone's hitting on our team, but Fletcher wasn't the guy we expected to be hitting home runs. He's a guy who he'll get that little bloop singles down the line. You know, he'll hit balls the other way constantly, but hey, if he's got some power in the tank, Angel fans will definitely take it. Mike Trout also sending 2 home runs as a dad, bringing his total this year to 4. He's the leader on the Angels in home runs. First home run off Marco Gonzalez, off the bat, I thought at least it was 440 feet or something left center. It barely got out, a wall scraper just like the other night, almost robbed by center fielder Kyle Lewis, but another home run for Mike Trout. It was a back-to-back for him and Fletcher in the 6th, and then Mike Trout hitting a 3-run shot in the bottom of the 8th, in the top of the 8th, to bring the Angels the score as it ended 7-6. But that was a big home run for the Angels. That was when we capitalized with runners in scoring position when we haven't all year. You know, we haven't been really good in that. We haven't driven runners in. We left a lot on base, especially a lot on 2nd and 3rd, runners in scoring position. But this was a big home run by Mike Trout. It was a very questionable call to bring it to 3-2. It was a ball that should have been called a strike probably at 2-2, but it was called a ball, 3-2, and next pitch, Mike Trout sends it out, capitalizing on that situation. And Mike Trout is looking phenomenal right now ever since he's been back. And it could be another MVP for Trout, average now up to 323. So you never know. He had a slow start, but in a 60-game season, a 2-3 week span of, getting home runs, getting doubles, doing really well, high average, could bring you an MVP. One offensive piece that wasn't working last night and really hasn't worked this season was Upton. Madden said when Adele came up that Adele would be playing every day, and that Upton and Goodwin would platoon, whether Upton hitting against a lefty like he did last night or Goodwin hitting against a righty. And honestly, I like the idea. I wanted Adele playing every day, and Upton hits really well against lefties, and Goodwin hits really well against both sides, but Upton hits better against lefties. But last night wasn't the case. Upton finishing the night 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts against Marco Gonzalez. And then he was subbed out for Tommy La Stella, but this year not been good for Justin Upton, now at a 125 average, and in 11 games has struck out 17 times. And at a guy who's hitting 5th in the lineup, we need more production. Like, I'm not saying you could have 17 strikeouts if you're super low in the order, but if you're right in the middle, we need production from him. He's had a lot of strikeouts with runners on, left a ton of players on, and Marco Gonzalez really dominated him. Fastballs inside, cutter outside, slider. He kept them all off balance, all 3 strikeouts on different pitches, so it was complete dominance by Marco Gonzalez over Justin Upton. Joe Adell also, like I said, costly mistakes. One being the 2-run double by Austin Nola in the in the 6th inning. He doesn't call off Trout in a double in the gap that leads to 2 RBIs. It was a ball. We don't know if Adell could have caught it, but it definitely wasn't Trout's ball who dove at it. And it's not Trout's fault. Trout dove because Adell didn't call him off, and that's what you're supposed to do in the outfield. You're supposed to run to the ball until someone calls you off, because Trout knew at the start that wasn't his ball. But once he noticed that Adell wasn't calling him off, he had to make an effort at it. But it's a clear rookie mistake. He's not taking charge. He's not being a leader on the outfield, Adell. And we can't blame him too much, but the reason I'm saying it is because it was a very costly mistake. That 2-run double was huge for the Mariners. And Joe Adell also struggled at the plate. Finished 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, getting another infield single. And once again, we can't be too bad at him. This is a new time. All these pitchers are new. He's never seen them before, and he doesn't know their sequences, their pitches. So he had a lot of trouble against Marco Gonzalez, who he's probably not used to. He's probably used to a lot of guys in the minors pumping gas and trying to burn you with the fastball, but Marco Gonzalez is trying to beat you with location, and Adell might not be used to that. And another thing I want to point out, Anthony Rendon also hasn't, he's had a slow start, and that could be because he's in a new league. He was in the National League last year, and now he's in the American League. New pitchers, just like Adell, and he might not also know their sequences, their pitch repertoire. So it might cause trouble for him to hit. He's had a lot of walks this year, so he's gone on base a lot, but he hasn't been that guy getting a lot of hits like he normally does, and he's striking out a lot, which Rendon really doesn't do and hasn't done most of his career. But enough with the offense, let's go to the pitching. Tehran, from his 2 2/3 innings, I think he did decent. This is a role he's not really used to. For the last 6 years in Atlanta, he started every opening day, so he's been their quote-unquote ace. And this year, he didn't start because of testing positive for COVID. But even if he was healthy, I doubt he would have started our opening day. I still think we have Heaney. So this is a new role he's adjusting to. And just like Rendon, he's facing new players. He's facing new hitters that he doesn't know too much about in a different league, as he was in the National League last year. But I think Rendon did really well. The pitch repertoire he has, he gives everything to you, And he had that 60 pitch count limit. And he might have been taken out a little too early with 52 pitches. But, that inning that he was taken out, that 3rd inning, 2 runners got on bloop singles to center. And it was very unfortunate. And then he was taken out. And this is when the bullpen struggled. Like I said yesterday, we need to limit the inherited runners scored, which is huge, just like the Nationals do this year. Madden goes for the matchup with a lefty, Ryan Buckner, and brings him in for Kyle Seager, and brings him in to face Kyle Seager. And Kyle Seager, though his average isn't as high against lefties, he has a 266 average against righties, 261 against lefties. The proportions, he hit more home runs against lefties than righties. And we don't know if Madden knows that, but Tehran still had some gas left in the tank to go another batter, and Seager made him pay, launching a 3-run home run out into right field. And this was after the Angels dropped 1 on them, and this was big for the Mariners to get those 3 runs, to take that lead, to take control of the game, and they never let up after that. They never lost that lead. Their bullpen bended but didn't break, and that was the key for them, and that 3-run home run was the difference in this game. Andrews was another reliever. He came in after Buckner, and he did decent. I said that I like him more as a reliever, and he was used as a reliever yesterday. Went 3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and I like that role out of him. He'll give you 2, 3, 4 innings out of the relief spot 3 times a week or something. I think that role works for him. I think we have enough pitchers in our rotation to do that, and I think Andrews fits that role perfectly. The only other reliever was Noe came in to pitch, and then we had a couple other pitchers after, but nothing much happened for them. But Noe just couldn't get the job done, plain and simple. It's been like this most of this year. He went 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Hitters just seem to figure him out. Noe's like Marco Gonzalez. He doesn't have overpowering stuff, but he has some filthy pitches with the changeup two seam. But the Mariners have seemed to figure it out this year, and Noe just couldn't seem to hit those corners and keep hitters off balance. They seemed to read his stuff very easily. And this Angel game, I really liked our offensive production, but our pitching definitely needs some work. Maybe if Tehran goes longer, it's a different outcome, but we never know. He was on a pitch count. Maybe Madden. Lefty against lefty, you would think it would work. Buckner, a very deceptive lefty too, but unfortunately it didn't. Angels got the wrong end of the stick, and we couldn't come out with the win. But very excited for today's game, and this will be the rubber match today against the Mariners. It will be a getaway day, starting early at 1:05. That because Angels leave for Texas tomorrow. I'm going to play against the Rangers, and Dylan Bundy getting the ball today. He'll look to improve his record to 2-1. Bundy in his 2 outings has looked very sharp. Last game against the Mariners, though he got the loss, 6 innings, 3 runs, 8 strikeouts, a quality start. And Bundy, everyone knows his first game. Everyone was saying Cy Young for Bundy, who went 7 scoreless his first game. But very excited to see how Bundy shapes up against the Mariners for a second time, seeing if he could do better. Maybe Mariners might figure him out. He'll be facing Taijuan Walker, who looked excellent in his last outing against the A's. He went 7 scoreless innings, his first win since 2018 when he had Tommy John. But yesterday I said look out for Mike Trout against Marco Gonzalez, who was dominant off who's been dominant off him, and he knocked out another home run. And I'll say it again. Look out for Mike Trout against Taijuan Walker today. He's hitting 9. He's 9 for 14, which is a 643 average, 3 home runs, and 6 RBI against Walker. So yeah, he doesn't have as good stats. I'm not as many at bats against Walker as he does Gonzalez, but he's still been absolutely dominant over Walker, and he's looking to be better than ever. And he's in his age 28 season, the quote-unquote prime age of an MLB player, but we want him to do what he's been doing for his entire career. We just need production from other sides of our offense. We need pitching to do better, but Trout's looking to better his career have a better year this year than ever, and his average, like I said, soared to 323. So he may be looking at a 4th MVP, but we don't know, very early in the season. And I'm looking for the Angels to pick up this rubber match and take a win on to Texas. But yeah, that'll do it for today's episode. It was a close game the entire time. No one really had a huge lead. The biggest lead was 4-1 for the Mariners, but unfortunately these Angels couldn't pull it off. But it's not the end of the world, and Angels can win the series today. But hope you all tune into today's game, and go Angels.